First, I want to focus on the things that seem to be most pressing for the American people. The ones you want to serve as president, of course. Let's start with the one thing that seems to impact everybody. That, of course, is the economy and what the team in the White House currently calls Bidenomics. Inflation is up, purchasing power is down, and yet Joe Biden continues to tell all of us how great everything is. You've been on the road. You've been talking to people. What do you think?
I think, when I say that to people, they feel like they're being gaslighted. There's a level of desperation and disintegration in this country, not only economic, but mental health, physical health, that I've never seen before. You have people, 57% of the people in this country cannot put their hands on $1,000 if they have an emergency in their family. For people like that, if the gas light comes on in their car, it's like the apocalypse, because they know they can't pay the mechanic. They're going to lose their car. They're going to lose their job, and then they're going to lose their home. And they're going to join this growing army of the homeless in our country. The average income in America today is $5,000 less than the cost of basic human needs. So, people, if you just get by with what you basic needed to survive, you end up $5,000 in debt at the end of the year. People are putting that debt on their credit cards. We just hit a milestone of $1 trillion in credit card debt, a private credit card debt in this country. Nothing like this ever happened. They're paying 22% interest. If the mafia charged you that, it would be called loan sharking. They could go to jail. But a Visa, MasterCard, Wells Fargo, Citibank, Chase, it's business as usual. And the middle class in this country is being strip mined of its wealth and equity, which is all going upward and ending up in the pockets of giant corporations like BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, who now control 3 companies, control 88% of the S&P 500. They're now buying our single-family homes. They're putting, our kids are never going to be able to afford a home. And we need
those are all things we talk about here on this program, by the way, because we're pricing the American dream away from everybody. Like you said, if somebody had a couple of flat tires today, they couldn't afford to pay for that. 17.4%, the cumulative inflation since Joe Biden took office. We print money. We spend a tremendous amount of money. We bring in $5 trillion a year, but spend $7 trillion. How do we change that? Because it's insanity defined, isn't it?
Yeah, there's ways to change it. Number one, we need to wind down the war machine. We can't keep 800 bases abroad. One of the biggest expenses we have, we spend $1.3 trillion total on national security and the military. We were going to cut after 92. We were supposed to get a peace dividend when the walls came down in the Soviet Union, and the proposal then was to cut the military to $200 billion a year. Instead, we've gone up to $1.3 trillion total. It's about $999 billion just for weapons and military. But if you include the national security costs and veterans costs, it's $1.3 trillion. So we can cut that back. We can cut the military costs almost in half, down to about $500 billion. We need to cut chronic disease in our country. That's the biggest expense.